The tombs opened. Now this one's wild, and it's only found in Matthew's Gospel. After Jesus died, tombs cracked open and the bodies of many holy people were raised to life. Picture this: you're walking around Jerusalem a few days later, and suddenly you bump into someone who you know had died. Talk about a conversation starter, right? Hey, weren't you, dead last week? Matthew 27:52-53 tells us, "The tombs were opened and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many." This is one of those passages that if you're not paying attention, you might just read right past it. But wait, dead people coming back to life? That's kind of a big deal. Now, the earthquake probably damaged some of the stone tombs physically, but let's be clear. Earthquakes don't raise the dead. Only God does that. These weren't zombies stumbling around. These were God's holy people, fully restored to life as a powerful testimony to what Jesus had accomplished on the cross. It's worth understanding what Jewish tombs of that era looked like. They weren't like our modern graves dug into the ground. Instead, they were often carved into rock faces, cave-like chambers where bodies were laid on stone shelves. Sometimes they had large stone discs that rolled across the entrance. So when the earthquake hit, it likely cracked open these sealed tombs, exposing the burial chambers inside. Who were these saints or holy people who were raised? Matthew doesn't give us names, but they were likely faithful Jewish believers who had died, perhaps notable figures from Israel's history, or maybe just ordinary faithful people who had died recently enough that they would be recognized by those still living in Jerusalem. Imagine running into your grandpa who died 3 years ago. You'd definitely tell everyone about that. Some early church writers speculated they might have included Old Testament figures like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, or David, people who had died in faith looking forward to God's promised redemption. Others thought they were more recent believers who had known Jesus during his ministry and had died before his crucifixion. Unfortunately, Matthew doesn't satisfy our curiosity on this point. He just tells us they were saints, people set apart for God. What's really interesting is the timing here. Notice that while the tombs were opened when Jesus died, the saints weren't raised and didn't appear in Jerusalem until after Jesus' resurrection. This preserves Jesus' status as the firstborn from the dead, as Colossians 1:18 puts it. Jesus was the pioneer, blazing the trail through death and back to life, with these saints following in his footsteps. This resurrection of the saints beautifully connects to what Paul would later write in 1 Corinthians 15:20-23.